do you mean either Dylan or myself or Chelsea any harm?
Did you hear somebody as if they were yelling from far away, run?
Mm-hmm.
You heard that too. That wasn't just me.
No.
That wouldn't have been a radio. That sounded like somebody going, run.
Yeah.
First I saw a dark head over in the far corner, and then we heard something say run, which maybe we should have taken that advice. And then as I am turning my head, something catches my attention, and it just looks like a face behind a pillar doing this, which is apparently a couple seconds after Chelsea got her leg squeezed. As if it was trying to get Chelsea's attention, to get my attention, as a little bit of a fun trick. And now I feel absolutely just dead to the world.
Located just 3 kilometers from the border with New Brunswick, on the eastern edge of the Tantramar Marshes, Amherst, Nova Scotia was once one of the most important industrial centers in the Maritime provinces. While those days are long gone, the rich history of Amherst can still be experienced at the Cumberland County Museum and Archives. The building dates back to 1838 and was the family home of Senator Robert Barry Dickey, one of Canada's Fathers of Confederation. But while the museum's exhibits provide a fascinating window into the town's past, they may also be acting as a portal to a more paranormal present, as there have been numerous reports by both visitors and staff of strange and unexplained activity over the years. As we prepared to begin our investigation of the museum in July 2017, Holly spoke to a couple of staff members about their experiences.
I was walking into the office going that way, and I seen a shadow right here as I was walking in, coming into this room.
Okay, how big was the shadow?
It was like a little boy. It was about...
You thought it was really quite... And you were out here? Can we just go
Yep.
have a look? So you were walking over here?
I came in from here,
Yeah,
and I walked into the office right here,
yeah.
and I turned my head like that, and I seen it, and then I came back out to see what it was, and it was gone.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
It was a little scary.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to think.
Right?
And then in the room back there, I sounded like a 300-pound person hitting the floor. I was back here, painting the wall, and about right above over there, that's where I heard like just dropped.
Something hit the floor.
Yeah, but nothing.
And
no one's up there.
No one was up there?
Nobody was up there. Natasha was in that room way back there.
She didn't hear it?
She didn't hear a thing.
Okay, and there was no one upstairs at the time, and this above us would have been Mary's sitting room?
Yes.
Did she die up there?
I think she did. I think she died from her tumor.
Right. Upstairs. What do you think it was? Like, did you go up and look to see if there was anything had fallen?
No, yeah, I did actually. I went up and looked and there was nothing there.
Nothing.
Not a thing on the floor.
What do you think it was? Like, if you were to guess, what do you think that could have been? Because that just blows my mind.
It sounded like a, I don't even know. It sounded like a big ball. Like a giant ball.
Huh. I have no idea how to explain
Balls
that.
like from the cannons.
A cannonball?
It sounded like a big cannonball.
That's crazy. So this happened the same day that you saw the shadow of the boy.
Yep.
Which one happened first?
This.
This one?
Yep.
And was there anything else that you heard? Footsteps or anything?
Not this day.
You heard footsteps another day?
Yeah, you hear footsteps up and down the stairs, like especially up in here.
Up here?
Yeah.
While you're downstairs?
Yeah.
And you hear footsteps on the stairs?
You can hear them going up and down the stairs. It's
Heavy footsteps, light, fast, quick?
they're like medium. They're like medium quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It was weird. And she said that Natasha said she wasn't going upstairs by herself anymore.
So she won't go upstairs
No.
anymore. Have you ever had anything happen to you elsewhere in the building?
No, nothing else to me.
Nothing else to you. Do you want? Are you curious? Like, do you want something else to happen?
Yeah, I do. I want to see more.
You want to see
I
more?
want to see more.
We're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Are you? So if you could get any information out of what we're going to be doing here tonight, is there any questions or anything that you would want to know?
No. No, not right now, not this second.
Okay.
But I might eventually throughout the night.
Like who's here or?
Like who's here, what do they want, good or evil, stuff like that.
Good questions.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do tonight.
Now there was a medium also in, and she just popped by with her family. She was also in this back room. I wasn't here, but one of the workers told us about it the next day. And
Okay.
she was telling us how there was a vortex or something in this back room.
A vortex.
Yeah, that's what she told the worker here. She came back and burnt some sage.
Yeah.
And she said she closed it.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Natasha mentioned that to us. She said that for a small period of time it actually felt lighter,
yeah.
but she says it doesn't feel that way anymore to her.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it might have been one of these older chairs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there was a table just set up right across here just when we were working on.
Okay.
I was probably over here looking, and the chair just rolled along the middle of the floor down towards, somewhat towards me. It wasn't coming at me, but
Yeah.
I was standing over there, and
Wow, so this chair or something very similar to this older
one of
chair
these older chairs,
was
yeah.
moving through here.
yeah.
And had you moved it prior to that?
No. I
Bumped it
wouldn't.
or anything?
No, it was sitting there I didn't move it, and there was no momentum pushing it or anything, so.
How did that make you feel?
Well, I went across the hall and worked.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's great. That's another thing that we can keep an eye out on
Yeah.
tonight. Anything else that you can think of?
Other than the sounds, there's
The sounds.
the creepiness in the archive room. It's just sometimes when you're going down the stairs, it's right there and on the landing, and you just get that eerie feeling.
Do you think that there are any spirits here?
Well, it feels like it. Like most of the windows were all boarded up, similar to this one. Almost all the windows in the museum have been, and since my wife and I have started here, we've been taking down the coverings on the windows, and it makes it feel better in here. I don't know, maybe they're happier. I don't know if there is anything. It gives it a different feel. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like it. They couldn't see out. I don't know how it works, but definitely you get a different vibe when the windows are open and you can see outside.
We're here at the Cumberland Museum, and we're going to try something a little different. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the entire house, and we're going to each individually find an artifact or item, and we're going to use it as our own personal trigger object to see if anything interacts with it. I'm up first, so I'm headed upstairs. Oh, it's so creepy up here. Okay. So, what I'm going to be doing okay, sorry, it feels really weird up here. So my trigger object is going to be a hat that I saw, and I'm a big Western fan. And the second I saw this hat, it kind of reminded me of the same hat that Lee Van Cleef wears in the classic Western, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on a mannequin head, and I'm going to tip it in a certain way. Sorry, this room feels really weird. Okay,
I'm going to set this up now. I'm going to put the hat on it. So I'm going to leave it as it is right there. It's a little bit sideways. Actually, you know what? Hold on. It's basically where it was before, just a little elevated, so it's pretty hidden. I don't think anybody would have taken that much detail of notice into where it exactly was. So I'm going to leave that there, so if there's anybody in here or anything that wants to communicate with me, feel free to move that hat, knock the hat off the shelf, tip it a little weirdly. It's pretty snug on there now. Just feel free to play around with the hat. We'll see if anything chooses to do so.
Okay, so I am upstairs right now, and I am in Mary Blair's sitting room. This would have been where she spent a lot of her time. Supposedly, they had separate bedrooms, which wasn't uncommon for the area, and so when she got really sick, she was spending a lot of time here, and would have probably died in this room. So my trigger object is going to be a bell, because they had a lot of servants, and assuming that, you know, she would have needed help quite frequently. I'm going to put a bell on its side. So Mary, if you are here with us tonight, you need any help at all, feel free to ring that bell. That's going to be the signal that tells us that you are here with us, and we would like to speak with you tonight if you're here. You can communicate with us, and just let us know by ringing the bell, and I'm going to show everyone where I've set it. As you can see, it's just a simple bell, but the idea here is that if she needed any assistance, which she would have when she was unfortunately dying, when she was passing away, she could maybe make this ring by either rolling it or, you know, picking it up and actually shaking the bell. So this is my trigger object. We're going to see if we hear any sounds that sound like a bell anytime tonight.
So instead of going the military route, where I have a background and was an officer for 15 years, is I'm currently also working with cadet units and helping them as a band instructor. So I thought there's a little bit of a music room here with some instruments, and my trigger object is going to be set up here in a couple seconds. And what I'm going to do is set up in an old record player the needle at a particular place. And what I'm doing and asking from here are if there's any spirits here with us tonight. Hopefully you'll be as friendly as we are, and I'm certainly inviting you to, you know, if you want to show us that you're here with us tonight, is to move the needle just to show that you're with us here tonight. And that you mean no harm, and we certainly mean no harm or disrespect for you in this home as well. And I'm going to place it directly at the corner, directly on the spot there of where the record, which is a 45 that's sitting on the phonograph. So I placed it directly on it. I'm going to double look here, that it's right on the very edge, so that if it moves either left or right, once again, the spirits that may or may not be with us here tonight, if you want to show us that you're here with us tonight, then you can move that for me, and then that way I will know that you were here with us tonight and communicating to us. And basically by moving that, you're saying, "Hi Jim, welcome to our home, and hope that you have a good night of investigations."
Alright, so we were told to put a trigger object up, and I chose the room with the mirror in it because I feel like I don't really have a connection to it, but there are things that my grandparents have at their place, so it kind of reminds me of my grandparents and stuff, and I feel like I should put a trigger object in here. So what I did is I chose to take this little baby thing and prop it up so that if something decided to push it down, then it would be really easy for it to. So here we go. So it's just a little baby figure that can sit, and I'm going to prop him up right here. If anything decides to knock him over, it's really easy to just
So that's my trigger object.
Okay, it's trigger object time for Paul, and I am in one of the rooms here at the Cumberland County Museum. This is the one that actually has, and you'll be able to see it in a second, a display about coal miners and coal mining. So no personal relevance to me really, or to the object that I'm going to leave here. Just, I thought, you know what, if there's any sort of psychic energy attached to artifacts, it might be to some of these coal mining artifacts, because coal mining, really, really tough profession, obviously, with a lot of disasters in Nova Scotian history. A lot of people lost their lives, including one that's referenced up here that happened in Spring Hill many years ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quarter, a Canadian quarter, and I'm going to place it on top of one of these artifacts from the days of coal mining here at the museum. And I'll put it in such a place that it should be relatively easy for a spirit or something to move it off, and we'll definitely know if it gets moved. And just so we know, there we see the head side up. That is Queen Elizabeth II. Her Royal Highness is on top there and looking up. So that's two ways, I guess, that it could move it. One, if there's something here, it could push it off. And two, I suppose it could always flip the coin and we could get the other side up. That would be even cooler. So let's see if maybe some of the traumatic energy or some of the just whatever energy is here makes that move tonight. So I'm up in what we're calling the vortex room, because apparently a psychic came here some time ago and said she felt really, really bad up in this room right here, which is on the second floor of Cumberland County Museum. And it's not part of the exhibits, this is where they store stuff. And so she said she sensed a vortex to another dimension or some place of evil, apparently, or at least energy that was not particularly positive. So she took it upon herself to use her psychic powers, if such a thing exists, to get rid of the vortex. Now, the folks that sort of run the Cumberland County Museum told us that they weren't too happy about that, that if you have a vortex in your property, it's, you shouldn't just be able to come in and get rid of it. So I'm here to bring it back. And probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, and I haven't told the rest of the crew that I'm doing it. Certainly haven't told Holly. So here I am. This is me getting very serious now, summoning whatever energies I have, psychic energies or ethereal energies or otherworldly energies that I might have picked up on my journey so far, and I'm using them, I'm directing them outward into this room. And if there is a vortex, if there is a portal here that has been closed to another dimension or to another realm or to creatures from beyond, I want to open that. I want that to be open again tonight. And if those creatures are there, come on in and say hello, communicate with us, make contact, as it were. So here I am. That's my vortex summoning hum. That's the best I can do. But saying that, it's like buying a ticket to a movie theater. You can't see the movie unless you buy the ticket. Well, I'm buying the ticket. And that's where the REM pod just went off. Uh-oh. I'm going to go check that out. Because I might have opened the portal, but I might have done it in the wrong room. Anyway, the portal is open.
So I just heard what sounded like footsteps or shuffling of some kind of in the upstairs area above me. I was in the side room there. I checked in with Paul to see if it was him, because he's back in the archives. It wasn't him. And I just checked in with their house to see if they had just moved a chair or anything like that. Nothing like that. So let's just go on upstairs and see what might be happening. Okay, I don't see anything that maybe could have fallen. It kind of sounded like a dragging or like soft footsteps, like somebody who didn't have any shoes on or something. It wasn't a heavy kind of sound. Mary, are you here? We think that we heard you.
So we were up here basically investigating a noise in one of our other rooms. We just happened to come in here and we noticed something was weird. So this slate right here You can see 3 of them. They all have these little pencil things. And they're all pretty much lined up exactly the same. Now the only problem with that is that they weren't like that before. This guy right here, our front runner, was like this. The reason we know that is because I was up here shooting B-roll earlier and I have a shot of the entire room, including this desk. And it clearly shows that's where that was before. Now we've been doing an experiment where each of us have individually gone and found a trigger object and placed it somewhere or did something to it. None of us used this as a trigger object. No one has been up here. No one has touched this. There's no wind, drafts in here.
There's no way for that to have moved on its own. I mean, even if it were to have rolled, it's not going to roll up the desk. Yeah.
That takes, any movement and it falls.
Yeah, so in order for it to have, it would have had to, in order for, oh, that's really creepy. It would have had to, like, you couldn't even push it that way, but it was like that.
Yep.
So, reset it?
Well, I feel like what we should do. Just make sure we're pointing at anything. Well, here's an idea. I'll move one, you move one. Let's leave the middle guy where he is.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put mine a little bit.
I'm gonna straighten this one.
Okay. So that's where we're gonna leave him. There's nobody else except us that's currently moving. There's no wind, there's no AC, all the windows are closed. There's nothing that could move these unless somebody came in and moved them physically. So we'll leave this here, come back in a little bit and see if it changes.
I'll leave my ADR up here, so if anything comes in,
Yep.
you know what? I want this really close. Let's put it right here. We can hear it move.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Great.
Afterwards, where they moved.
What the?
Yeah, we're talking about power losses?
What the fuck?
Hey Dylan, guess who just lost his light here in the control room? Just like it happened there the other night when we started having power drains.